Welcome back to the Empty the Quiver podcast, your front row seats to everything Utah Archers. From game recaps to standout performances, we'll be your guide to all things orange and blue. Let's let it fly. Carolina 7, Utah 15. What do you have to say, Jackson?
Little brother stays little brother. I mean, we've owned this matchup for the last 3 years now. Mac O'Keefe would have tied the chaos on his own. I mean, come on. Spoil the homecoming. Gotta love it.
A victory cigar, nothing better. And you are right. Mac O'Keefe did score 7 goals. The Chaos also scored 7 goals. Only problem for them is that, well, we had 8 other goals on top of that. So
Yeah, I mean, the guys on offense are figuring it out. Connor Fields is steady as always, 3 or 4 points a game. We got a goal from the hometown kid with the Ryan Steins crease dive. The short sticks are figuring it out. Bo had an awesome one against Troy Ray. Piper was excellent in the pit game. McGuire had one kind of taken away by a timeout. I mean, we're just cooking.
yeah, honestly, the way the game started, it was 2-2 early at the end of the first quarter. A slow first quarter, 1-1, then 2-2, and the atmosphere, the Carolina crowd is great. Obviously, it felt very similar to the first 3 games, and I was optimistic, but cautiously optimistic because we had only 1 win so far. We scored 10 goals against Denver, but we scored 5 in the other 2 games that we lost. The defense looked great from the start to the finish, and that is never an issue. But yeah, you never know. You score 2 in the first quarter, you don't think, all right, we're about to explode for 15, and we're gonna have a
Yeah.
guy score 7 in a game. So
Yeah. Well, and then even into the second quarter, obviously we went on a pretty big run there. Mac starts filling the back of the net up. I think all 7 of his goals, maybe 6 out of 7 were assisted. Trey had 4 of those, which is not a part of his game that we're used to seeing. But I mean, you would think maybe switch the game plan up a little bit. I mean, they're just letting Mac step down from, 10 to 12 yards, hands free. I mean, and he just made him pay. I mean, you can't do that. He's one of the best shooters in the league, and they just had no answer for him.
he's on Team USA for a reason. But yeah, like you said, hometown kid. Stein started the second quarter with the crease dive goal. Then Max scored 2. We had Trey and we had Fields. It felt like 2023, 2024 for a second there, the way that we were just piling it on. And
Yeah.
at that point, when you go up 5, you know your defense is going to hold. And so
Yeah.
you can just get comfortable. And Mac mentioned it in post game. Once the first one goes and you're feeling it, it's so much easier. So
Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, really, really impressed with kind of how the whole game went. A lot of contributors. Obviously, Leo Johnson got his first goal. I think you and I were talking during the game. Hey, is he shooting it too much? No, I don't care as long as we're getting shots off. Blaze is a great goalie. So we just got to take shots to beat him. It's better if you can move the ball and have 6 assisted goals like we did with Mac. Ryan Ambler had 3 points and all 3 were assists. So really just a complete game from the offense. We got what we needed from our big guys. Obviously we'd love to see Sam King with a little bit extra, just the 1 goal. But I mean, that's our leading point scorer from last year. They're coming from somewhere. So yeah, really, really optimistic about this. It's a good Carolina defense. The short sticks are a little younger, but I mean, you've got Rowlett, you've got Newman, Troy Ray's an excellent LSM, and obviously Blaze is an all-world goalie. Like it's very, very good, and I think there's a lot to take from this game when we can score 15 on that defense.
yeah, I mean, obviously Max stands out, scoring 7, tying the single game record. But if he doesn't score all those goals and they're more spread out, Trey LeClaire would be headlines. The way
Yeah,
he came out of the box, hair on fire, just
yeah,
the defense was on their heels the entire game, and mostly because of the way him and, like you said, Ryan Ambler played in the midfield. So Trey had a lefty and a righty rip that just absolutely ripped the hole through the net. Great shots for both of those, 2 goals, and then 4 assists for 6 points. It
yeah.
seemed to be that facilitator that we've been asking for and that we've been hoping ever since Tom got injured. So
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's a return to 2024 All Pro Trey LeClaire. I mean, we've been missing that. We missed that all of last year. And I think it's a huge reason why we were so successful on offense is because he's such a disruptor. I didn't even know that he could pass the ball like that. I always kind of saw him as a shooting threat. But man, if we can get 2 assists from him a game, I mean it's gonna change the entire complexion of our offense.
Yeah, and you said Leo Johnson shot the ball. Our biggest complaint before this past weekend was shot clock violations, empty possessions, whether it's a face-off win, a caused turnover, a hustle play to get a loose ball, and then we just don't even shoot it on net. It dies in our stick, and that's the biggest thing. Where it's easy for us to say we're sitting at home watching or in the stands, but you got to take shots. And sometimes the bad shots aren't necessarily that bad because you got the backup, so you get the ball and keep the possession and mix the defense up a little bit. But you got to rip some shots. Let it fly.
Yeah, and our defense wasn't on defense the whole time. I mean, Sis was excellent at the dot, 66%, 8 ground balls. We just made the most of our opportunities. We cashed in on some short shot clocks off face off. Just really back to the Archers of old. But the ticket is, can we do it again? I mean, obviously the defense has been incredible. I mean, the magic number was 11 last year. I think it's 9 this year. It might be 8. We've still got some pretty tough games in front of us, including the one this weekend against the Woods. Now, news today: Chris Fake to the injured reserve. I like the way Dan Arestia described him as their thumper. Obviously, we've got several thumpers on our defense, but really on California, it's just the one, and he usually takes the Connor Fields matchup. So I'm really excited to see kind of what he can bring to this game when he's not getting beat up the whole time.
And they still have a huge question mark with Cole Kastner. If they're missing both of them, again, cautiously optimistic, but that is
Yeah, Colin Brown played excellent for them last week. I think he scored a goal. He can kind of do it all, but I mean, he's not as established in that defense. He's still kind of learning the ropes. So yeah, there's a huge opportunity to go take advantage. Obviously, Dylan Ward is capable of playing lights out and goal, and they have a great short stick unit with Tevlin and Merle. But I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. So I mean, we're gonna have to go out there and earn it. We're gonna have to move the ball. But we're gonna have to take shots and fill the back of the net up at point blank.
and honestly, if both of their polls are out, they have Cullen Brown. They released Arden Cohen, so they don't have him to rely on. Mac will have someone that isn't even on the roster right now guarding him, I would think. So
Yeah.
let the guy stay hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing that. But you also have to remember, we played them in a close game to start the season, but they didn't have Chris Kavanaugh. Mikey Bain ate our lunch. I mean, the kid had 5 points. The matchups kind of stay similar. I think we're probably going to end up having Lavelle on Dylan Malloy. It's kind of thumper on thumper. I'll be interested to see who's on Chris Cav. I wouldn't mind seeing Mitch O'Donnell on Chris Cav, and then Ryder Guardsey has given other teams fit. We've traditionally held him very well in check, but that's because he was usually getting Graham Hossick. I don't know if you noticed that in years past, but and I didn't watch a ton of their game last week. I don't know if he or Bam is playing attack. I think it's still whoever that is the Warren Jeffrey matchup. And then we kind of let Cam Wires and Woody take some of those pulls. Huge threat out of the midfield there. Andrew McAdory, just a game changing player. Speed, can shoot the ball, can feed. So yeah, that's where I put Woody in my mind.
Yeah, they're very deep to score goals. They have Sam English, Michael Leo made his debut. They have Denenza. They don't lack goal scorers. So our defense will have their work cut out for them. But again, we have not given up double digits yet this season.
Well, that's me knocking on wood, but yeah, super excited to see this matchup. It's going to be a great matchup at the Stripe, TD and Sis. Probably now at this time, probably the two favorites for face-off man of the year. It sounds like Trevor's going to be out at least this week. That's 2 games for him. He's already missed 2. Yeah, I'm not sure you can really say someone should win the award. They only play 8 games in a 12-game season. So, it really looks like those two are going to be the front runners. Would love to see Sis take one home. I know he's been working really hard at it, and I think he deserves it. He's been awesome this year. So really interested to see how that shapes up. Obviously, the goalie battle is going to be great. It's, Dobson and his idol, Dylan Ward and his protege, whatever you want to call it. But two Canadian goalies who, I mean, it's the two best Canadian goalies in the world right now. So, really, really interesting storylines. Definitely want to see our short stick defensive midfield room kind of continue to evolve. We've gotten a goal a game from these guys. You haven't seen anything from Woody yet. We're so due on that. If I could bet Woody 2-pointer, I'd be all over it this weekend. The moment that we get 4 points from the rope unit, it's going to be over for the rest of the league. And I think we're still learning how to keep offensive players on, switch on to matchups. I mean, talk about Trey dodging on an offensive player for the Woods. I mean, that's game over. Or they're gonna slide early and Mac's gonna be wide open and Trey's gonna hit him. So I mean, a lot to really look forward to there. Should be a really interesting matchup. I checked DraftKings. I'm in South Carolina, so I don't usually get any sportsbook lines. I didn't see anything. I would venture to guess they're going to be a goal and a half favorite. Just the way that kind of the power rankings have settled, and obviously they beat us earlier in the season, but this is a huge game for us, conference game. We're 2-1 in the conference right now. It'd be huge to go up 3-1 and bring our win loss record to 3-2.
They are the betting favorite, not by a large margin. It's minus 144 money line for California, plus 118 for Utah. So I think the win over Carolina gave Utah a little bit of a boost. If that hadn't happened, we'd be pretty big dogs going into this one. But the offense showed up, scored those 15 goals, and let's do it again.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get to 12 and get to a dozen, I think that puts us in a great spot. Like you said, the way that the defense and Dobson and Sis have all been playing, I mean, we're going to have possessions. We're going to let Dobber see the shots that he wants. And you and I were talking before this. I mean, the four short sticks have been incredible. I mean, arguably the worst one right now is Aiden McGuire, but that's because he's played, what, 2 games in this league?
Absolutely.
There's a level of comfort, and I think he's still trying to figure out his place in the offense. I think he's probably running off a little early. He's getting that guy hung, that offensive guy hung on defense, and then running off. Like, we need him to stay and play and score goals. I think that's something that he's very capable of doing.
It's definitely a comfort level. He's played, like you said, 2 games. He played for Duke, came straight from the Duke season, no break. And honestly, the last game, I thought it was about to click when he was running full steam over midfield, and as he's about to rip a shot, Bates called a timeout. After he did a 6-spin move, it looked like he was going to have his first offensive point, but again, the timeout happened, so reset. But I agree. We say worst in air quotes because
Yeah,
what he got scored on twice. it's,
yeah.
it's like the rest of them are just so good that the unit is locked down on defense. So we can just hope to stay hot and take the team to 3-2. Going back to our performance in Carolina, we have our 3 players of the game, which is that new segment a couple weeks back where we award the top player on the Archers 3 arrows, second player 2, and third place 1. Obviously, it's no contest this week. We had Mac O'Keefe score 7 goals, tying the single game record. 3 hours for Mac. Number 2.
Number 2, I think we're going to have to go Trey Leclerc. I mean, we talked about him earlier, just kind of unlocking a new phase of his game with the 4 assists. I mean, I think that probably ties a season high for any point in his career. But 4 assists and 2 goals. 2 goals, like you said, that were one righty, one lefty lasers. Just running out of the box, just a return to the 2023 and 4 Trey Leclerc that we know and love and need on offense. And then the third one.
Yeah, I think we got to go a tie, our first tie. The 3 poles on defense, they absolutely shut down a very stellar chaos offense. Lavelle, Warren Jeffrey, Mason Woodward, they'll each get 1. I think the poles, the closest guy was Lavelle on 1 goal against, and the other 2 didn't give up a goal. So against that offensive unit, you really can't ask for more. It was just another day at the offense for those guys. And while we don't have this in place yet, it's our show, right? So What about honorable mention for Brett Dobson at 68%, Mikey Sis at 66%?
Yeah. Fields with his 3 points that we've come to know and love. I mean, Piper Bond had two caused turnovers. Yeah, and it's something I want to point out back to the three D pulls. Brendan Nick turned 0 points in that game. That's a huge accomplishment and definitely deserves to be talked about.
Yeah, Nick Turn going double donut with Woody on him. Lavelle was on Hiltz. Moose was on Jackson Iker. Those three names, I mean, to say that we shut him down and doubled the scoring output is something that you could only dream of. So,
Yeah, combined 3 points for their attack line. So yeah, can live with that every single day of the week.
yeah, and twice on Sundays.
Yeah.
How about some trading cards? You have anything for me today?
I can go first.
All
This
right.
is a guy that we haven't seen yet this year. I think he'd plug right into our offense and get back to his normal scoring days. But I do have the one of one Matt Moore. Someone found this one and I was able to pick it up. But yeah, personal favorite of mine. I've got his rookie rainbow and jersey on the wall. So really happy to have another one of one in the collection.
I was going to ask if you pulled that yourself. That's a nice one. 2025 flagship, I think it's called. So
Yeah, I think that's
any
right.
one of one, any one of one is amazing
Yeah.
to have. I had to go Mac O'Keefe. This is his Team USA autograph. We have the base over here, the tie dye over here. Team USA autos for Mac O'Keefe, 7 goals. He was wearing number 77 on Team USA. Wears 7 for the Archers. Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
A little teaser, speaking of our man Mac O'Keefe. Next episode, the man himself will be joining us. So
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah, gonna do a little two for this week. This one I think will come out on Wednesday, and then I think we're gonna drop the Mac O'Keefe interview probably early Friday. So maybe you can grab it on your commute to work on Friday and get hyped for game day.
Yep,
Um,
yep. We play in New York on Friday evening. So
yeah,
what better way to start off the game day than a little interview with Mac beforehand?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a hard one to pin down, but I think we got him this time.
Honestly, like we're super honored that any of these guys even want to consider talking
Hundred
to us.
percent. It's
It's like
so cool.
we're very lucky to be able to have the connections we have and to reach out to these
Yeah,
guys and have them agree. They've seen us at the games for years now and
yeah,
post game and in the post game press conferences, and they're all just great guys, so easy to root for. And when we approach them and ask, they're willing, and
yeah.
um, we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, very generous with their time. I know a lot of these guys still have full-time jobs. They're watching film usually on Wednesdays, it sounds like, and flying places, having practice and playing a game and coming right back home. So yeah, everybody that has come on and will come on, we're super thankful. Um, but yeah,
You want to take it out this time since I started us?
on to the next episode. Everybody remember, let it fly.